Guys, remember my scalprum? This Alocasia Scalprum? Look how big she got. Last time you seen her, she was like literally this size. Like this is a what do you call it? A purple sword. She was literally this size, like this tiny. The last time you guys seen her, look how big she is. And look, she's flowering. So look how big. This is one of her leaves. They got long fingers too, but look, she's taking a hit right now. If you see, like the sleeve's not the best, and it's because when they flower, all their energy goes towards the flower. Okay, this is how you can get to crossbreed them. I'm going to collect the pollen from this when it's available. But look, they only flower when they're super happy and super healthy, but they do take a hit. See, like it'll start to get damaged and stuff. Because it takes all the energy out of some of the other leaves. Some people cut the flowers off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let it do its thing. When the pollen comes, I'm going to collect the pollen, save it, put it in the freezer until, I have another alocasia that, how big she is, another alocasia that I want to crossbreed her with, okay? But yeah, that's how big she was super tiny. She was also like the size of like this little locum. I can never even pronounce this thing name right. This is another one. This is the mint. You can try to pronounce that if you want to. whatever you want to pronounce that. Okay, it looks a lot like. Doesn't that look a lot like my purple sword? They're like, this is just like a lighter one. Look how beautiful she is though. And here's the darker one. This is the purple sword. But like, see how the scalprum has some like dark purple stems? She used to have the light green ones, this one here, but it's starting to turn purple when it ages. It gets like a purple. This one does right here, not the whatever however you want to pronounce that one. I got this from Taz. I love Taz. I love all the plants I get from Taz on YouTube. She's freaking amazing. All of the plants I get from her are always super good, super healthy. I love her. But and look, she's even pushing out another leaf, which is crazy because I didn't think that they pushed out leaves. While and that's definitely a leaf because you can see inside the shaft here. Look, there's another leaf. Another flower right there. There's her second flower because they normally do like 2 rounds of flowers. Okay, but like she's already got another leaf coming out too, pushing out. She's super happy though. I love this plant. I absolutely love it. But yeah, if you have any alocasias and they start to flower and they start to take a little bit of a hit, if you're wondering why, that's what it is. It's because they start, it's nothing you're doing wrong. It's, you know what I mean? But do make sure you keep an eye on them because it stresses the plant as to why they're sucking everything from, some of the leaves. Okay, just let it do its thing. Don't pull the leaves off. Let it do it so that it will just like take from these leaves, because if you take these leaves off, it'll go to the next leaf to drain from, right? But also, and like if you don't want to pollinate and stuff like that, if you don't want to do that, all you can do is cut the leaves, the flowers off if you want to skip the flower cycle. But again, I want the pollen. So, and also, look, see, I have her in semi-hydroponics, but look what we got here. Let's pick this off. Look what I got. A corn. A nice, healthy corn. This is a baby. It's like the little milk, excuse me, like the little milk cord. So this is going to push out a whole new scalprum. I already got a couple of them in my prop box. Actually, the way I like to grow my alocasias now, from like the corms. This is the corms like I was telling you guys about before when I used to always show like plant stuff. Guys, if you're here for the plants, my channel is like actually a tarot channel, but you know what I mean? I'm obsessed with plants, so yeah. If you're following just for the plant stuff, you don't really see much plant stuff. I do tarot on this channel. But anyway, see, like this right here is what this is. You see this little leaf right here? This will grow another little, say this is how tiny, this is actually probably the size of the leaves were when you seen this plant last, and now they're this big, the size of the baby. But yeah, this right here will grow a whole nother alocasia. Okay, and there's more of them inside the substrate, and I have some in my prop box. But I noticed that the best way to actually grow the corms is actually in a prop box. The best way, okay, because it's 100% humidity. love it. And I actually figured it out too, because I'm not gonna say that, never mind. But yeah, it's through a prop box, okay? But anyway, there's definitely a lot more. You can see there's also some growing off right here. I don't know if you can tell. And all the white stuff you see is because it's, it's sitting in semi-hydroponics and you use nutrient solutions, see? That's just the runoff, that, dirt looking stuff is just the runoff from, let's see, all of our roots coming out. That is okay to have, okay? When you when you grow your plants in semi-hydroponics, they end up getting like lots of roots, lots and lots of roots, okay? Because they're trying to get down to the liquids, and it's very moist in there, so it's perfect for healthy roots, healthy plants. But there's another one right there. But yeah, because I repotted her into here not that long ago, and like into a bigger pot. And it's always like you, and she didn't miss a beat. That's why I'm like a little worried sometimes when like repotting, because sometimes they'll have a fit, you know what I mean, and they'll take a hit, but they didn't. This one didn't. It absolutely loved the repot. Didn't even miss a beat at all. But now it's taking a little bit of a hit, and that's only because of this plant. Okay, the flower. But she's super happy. And again, if it's flowering, it's happy and it's healthy. Let's see. Is that yeah, that's another flower right there. That's her second flower. And you can see that's a leaf. See how, because underneath, the bottom of the leaves are purple. If it gets enough sunlight. And it turns, like it starts with green, but you see how it's starting to turn purple? Right there. And look how cute she is. I wanted to show you guys. Just wanted to show you her. Her so sexy. But yeah, see, like what you got to do, from my understanding, is you collect the pollen when it's ready, and then you would cut through this is like the male part up here, then this is the female down here. After you have the pollen, and when it's time and ready for the female, where it starts like pushing out like all that sappy stuff, if you have pollen from either the same plant, which if you do it, because either way, they're still going to push out like, horns, which grow other plants. But if you want to change like the type of alocasia, where you can, crossbreed them, from my research, what you do is you collect pollen from another plant. See how these are like leather? They're like these. I don't know if it matters at what kind of alocasia, but there's different types of alocasia. Like this is like a leather, thick leather type of leaf. These ones are not like that leathery, not that leathery type, and they're even have like the jewels. There's different kinds, so I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference. But the one I'm going to crossbreed this with, not this cycle, because I don't have the pollen yet. I have to wait for the other plant to flower and give me pollen and everything. But yeah, so anyway, when you want to crossbreed it, what I understand is, you want, as long as you have the pollen from whatever alocasia, when it's time and ready, this is the female part. You're going to cut a window through here. Not yet, because it's not ready. And apparently the female part comes before the male. So you would need to go through like 2 flowering cycles unless you already have the pollen. But when it's ready, you cut the window out, and then you self-pollinate it, right? And then this, like, there's like little like dots going around this, like the female part, and apparently if it takes, they're called berries. It'll like be like little berries, which are like seeds that you plant, okay? But I don't know. We're gonna try it out whenever I got another plant that I want to crossbreed it with. But again, I can't do it now. I could, pollinate it with this same plant, and I'm gonna leave this after I collect the pollen, because some's gonna fall down into here, right? This leaf will open up when it's ready to pollen, and it'll push some down into the female receptor part, right? And then it like sticks, and it's, so after I collect the pollen, I'm just gonna let this flower do its whole cycle and let it take a little bit of a hit, because again, remember, it's happy and it is healthy, and then or else it wouldn't be flowering. But what do you call it? And see what happens. Keep an eye on the berries, and then if it takes, then I'll have more. Either way, I have a bunch of freaking corms anyway, so I'll grow more. But that's just one way to do it. But I'm gonna try and crossbreed this, because I love this plant. Imagine mixing this with like a like a beautiful, what do you call it? Even one of these would be cool. But like mixing it with an albo of some sort, or like a variegated version, like an albo is like, or variegated. Imagine this beautiful plant, like variegated with like different colors in it. Absolutely gorgeous. Or like this, like one of these, like the purple sword, having this purple sword, which is variegated. It's hard to see here now, but like, because I haven't given her as much light, and they starting to go like winterize, but I don't know if you can see the different in the greens, but like with like the sword shape, you know what I mean? Leaves, but the leathery type, and also with the variegation. How freaking cool would that be? Or like with one of these, the Lockie, whatever how you want to pronounce this. Imagine these leaves, or like these leaves with like the sword shape, but the leathery type, or this big one with these colors. Like how amazing would that look? You know what I mean? Or even that yellow color. And this is just a baby, so this is just a baby, but it still gives off babies too. Wasn't that super cool? But I don't know, I seen the sheep flowered, and I just wanted to show you guys, and you haven't seen her in so long. It's been a few months since you've seen her again. I mean, you seen her last, she was probably that small. But now, look at her leaves. Her leaves, and I have long fingers. It's huge. But yeah. And I just figured to give you guys a little bit of tips if you have any alocasias, and also if it gets too cold and the humidity gets too low, they will go dormant. Don't freak out, which means like they'll drop their leaves, and don't throw them away. Okay, it just means that they're going through dormancy, and that's it. So they'll come back. So do not. A lot of people end up thinking that they killed their plant and throwing them away, and you just killed you killed them by throwing them away. So never do that. Okay. Same with prayer plants. They go dormant. They'll drop their leaves. They'll take a hit, and then but if you keep them, it'll grow back. But if you keep the temperatures good enough for them, they will. They'll stay as long as you have the right humidity and the right temperatures. You can keep them. And they won't go dormant. It just depends on you know what I mean? It just depends. So you'll have like just a stump, like, let me show you my poly. Hold on. Like my poly here. See this stump here? Look at her. That stump right here will just be like this stump if she gets dormancy. I don't know if I showed you guys when I cut off her leaves. When I first got her, I chopped her. I gave her a whole hard reset. This is the African mask plant, also known as an Alocasia poly. I have so many of these. It's crazy because these freaking drop horns like crazy. But yeah, it'll just be like a stump here. Just leave it there, and then it'll grow. Like, look, that's another one. That's another one. It'll just grow back when it's ready. If your temperatures ain't, and the humidity is not great, which is fine. Hold on one second. Go back up there. But here's another little poly. I have so many polys and so many polycorms, and like a buttload of baby polys. I have so many of these plants. I want this plant so bad, and I finally got it, and now I have like a bunch of them. This is one of her babies. The one I just showed you. And then I have a buttload of them in my, what do you call it? Oh, shit. I'm trying to put it back in my plant, my plant shelf. But yeah. If anybody lives by, never mind, I'm not saying that. But yeah, see you guys. There's a second little plant flower right there. And I'm going to collect the pollen from both of them. But it's so weird that she has like another leaf growing out too. At the same time as the two flowers. But yeah, look at how gorgeous she is. It's all purple underneath. Again, leave the leaves. Let it just do its thing. Because if I take this leaf off, it'll just drain another leaf. So don't do that. But have a good day. God bless everybody.